The bliss of the abyss, it's here now.
Hello there, sausages. Welcome back to the Bliss of the Abyss. Just a little quick note up top. The audio on this one got a little bit janky because I was using a USB microphone and there was quite a lot of noise in the room. So apologies if there is a little bit less fidelity on some of the audio, but I think you'll agree it's worth your time. Anyway, on with the show. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Bliss of the Abyss. My name is Robin Neumark Jones. I am your host with the most, and you are listening to this show, which has been on hiatus for the past month for reasons I can now reveal. But thank you very much for tuning back in. It's really appreciated. Those of you who come here every now and again, this is an occasional show where we try and find the nonsense, the joy amidst the mayhem, the bliss of the abyss of bliss. And it's been challenging of late, hasn't it? Yeah, when it comes directly to your door, makes the whole thing a little bit harder, I find. But, sometimes take a step back, recalibrate, come back, keep moving forward. And that's what I've done. And to that end, I can now reveal I am 6'5" and jacked. That's where I've been. Oh, look at that. Oh, bursting through the chest. Bursting through the t-shirt. My younger brother said to me the other day, he's like, yeah, but everyone's jacked nowadays. I said, are they? Are they though? Maybe we're hanging around with different people. Maybe we're not. Maybe my new life as a gym rat has changed everything. I actually was a gym rat. Thank you. Don't prepare. I'm not prepared to be called a rat, actually. Before the old lockdown, which is where this podcast actually started, right at the beginning of lockdown, I was going to the gym all the fucking time. I mean, partly because I was in a West End show, but partly because the gym had a sauna. And that's really what I enjoy. I do like working out and stuff, but the gym had a sauna, so I'd go, do a big workout, go to the sauna, boom, done. And it's right around the corner from me, so great. Then lockdown happened, and gyms got closed. Gyms were closed, got closed, were forced to close. Anyway, they were shut. And, I got an email from Fitness First, other gyms are available, saying that we have, we've paused your membership while all our facilities are shut. So don't worry, it's paused. And I was like, you know what? Fair dinkum, as they say in Ausland. I won't cancel then. They're being respectful to me as a customer. And then after 3 months, I noticed I hadn't got an email saying about what they were doing next. Then I checked my account and noticed they'd taken a year in advance. And I emailed them and they said, yeah, we're just taking a year in advance, but you can delay it. And I said, no. Cancel. And I've not been back since. Excuse me. Partly because in lockdown we then got weights, we got an elliptical machine, we got all the stuff to do it at home, so we didn't go stir crazy. Although it is a bit like now, my house, because there's a TV in the gym room. It's a little bit like, what's that? That is that Black Mirror episode where they're like cycling to earn, is it food or earn points? And they're in this kind of like tiny little, it's Daniel Kaluuya. It's that like tiny little like box that they're in with like LCD screens everywhere. And they're just on a bike, just cycling away to earn these merits. And I think it's like
welcome to GD,
a social credit system.
15 million merits.
15 million merits. Black Mirror.
Shows us a society where you ride a cycle to earn merits and use those merits to buy stuff. And they are to believe that cycling charges sell, which powers everything.
There we go, yeah. exactly. So they live in this kind of cube thing with loads of LCD screens. They don't really get to pick when they wake up, where they go to sleep, what they do.
Which is all screens. And as he goes through his daily routine, we get to see various ads that keep popping up.
Yeah, exactly. And then he just has to cycle sort of all day to earn merits, which then give him the right to live. Why did I say that so slowly? I just hate these AI voices. You know, as a voiceover, there's the amount of things that come through, like in the various casting sites and stuff that I'm a part of, where it's like, we'll use your AI voice. One job opportunity came through. This was outrageous. They were like, we'll pay you $1,000 for 16 hours of recorded audio, which, by the way, recording 16 hours of broadcast quality audio, making sure that the noise floor is perfect, there's no edits, the breaths are reduced to a minimum, there's no screw-ups, you say something wrong, you have to cut, edit, clip, start again. 16 hours of audio takes an absolute age to do. So they want 16 hours for $1,000. And then in the buyout section, it's, we will own the rights to this audio in perpetuity, including if our company is ever bought or sold, all of those rights will automatically transfer to this new company. Then they said, we'll also own the right to use this audio for anything whatsoever in any way. So they could just take it and scramble the voice around and use it to advertise, I don't know, Vaseline or worse. And et cetera, et cetera. These kind of like outrageous stipulations in a contract for $1,000. I mean, look, $1,000 would be lovely. Thank you. If you wouldn't mind, patreon.com/the bliss of the abyss. $250 will do, but if you've got $1,000, yeah, that would be really nice. But not to own the rights to my voice that you can edit and manipulate in any way you want for perpetuity, for any reason whatsoever. And I have absolutely no right to claim any of it back. And, of course, all of the clients' names and everything was redacted. So I don't even know who I'm agreeing to this contract with. It's so, yeah, it's dystopian. So back to the Black Mirror thing. That's what it feels a bit like. If I spend too long in the gym/spare room with the fold-out bed, if you're on the bike, especially in lockdown, you're on the bike, the TV's on, and then you lift some weights and you look outside, and it's like, oh, it's a nice day. Can I go? No. Well, all right, you can go to the shops, but that's it. Come back. Yeah. Anyway. I'm not actually, that's not why I've been away. I've not been away because I've been jacked. Oh God, I'm being advertised Russell Brand videos. Jesus. That is something that happened while I was away. God, what? If you haven't watched that documentary, very compelling viewing. Of course, I once met Russell. Only briefly, went to a gig of his. And he touched me on the bottom. With my consent. He didn't touch me on the bottom, that's a joke. Apparently very litigious. I don't want to get involved in that. But yeah, no, I've been away. I've been doing the voiceover grind, trying to work out how to make that like pay anything worthwhile. But I mean, I had a video go viral for one of the channels I work for. If you want to look it up, it's called "Britain is no longer a rich economy, and here's why." And that's the voice they like me to do. It's had 447,000 views. Listen to this. Britain's economic journey, to say the least. Britain's economic journey. I don't know why they insist on me talking this way. Britain's economic journey, to say the least, has been a captivating tale spanning centuries, characterised by periods of rapid growth, innovation and transformation. It's evolved from its agrarian origins to the top of the Industrial Revolution and the contemporary global economy. Yeah, the contemporary global economy. It's my best Emily Maitlis impression. Speaking of Emily Maitlis, I have some big news, which is the real reason I've been away. He keeps teasing. Must he keep teasing us? Yes. What was I going to say? Oh, look at the comments here. The arrogance of Great Britain stays unchanged. The value of the pound. You fail to mention Britain's insanely restrictive planning system, which allows vested interests to stop anything happening to improve infrastructure. Britain is a nation of NIMBYs. 293 upvotes. You know, sometimes you don't understand the internet. You look at the internet and you think it remains undefeated and bizarre. So that was a nice little success. Not that I sort of see any financial upside of it, but reputationally, I suppose, for what that's worth. But the thing I've been away for, speaking of Emily Maitlis, if you don't know who Emily Maitlis is, my American listeners, or those who are not interested in politics, she's quite extraordinary broadcaster, journalist. Was at Newsnight and the BBC for many, many, many years. I think like 20 years maybe. And very famously did the interview with Prince Andrew. Now, we all remember the Prince Andrew interview, don't we? Don't we? Do you remember what he said? I think it was something along the lines of, I can't sweat. He wouldn't say that, would he? He wouldn't say that he couldn't sweat, would he? Apparently, yes. So it was around the time of the Epstein allegations, all of that stuff. So he gives this interview, being like, I'm innocent, honestly, Governor. But then also, and if I did do it, I wouldn't have been able to do it because I can't sweat, you see. Prince Andrew. There's a channel called Prince Andrew. Watch me disprove this ridiculous claim that I'm a paedophile once and for all. So he gave this interview to Emily Maitlis for the BBC,
and that she went on to have Bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was yes.
Don't sweat, or didn't sweat at the time. I mean, those are two very different things. Both ridiculous. By the way, for the record, I have looked it up. There is such a thing as an inability to sweat.
I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and I simply it was almost impossible for me to.
What a hero! Anhydrosis, lack of sweat, is a condition in which your sweat glands don't function as they should to remove heat and cool your body down. Obviously, this is life-threatening. Sweat is literally the body's way of protecting itself. And we looked up at the Thanksgiving party. Thanks to everybody who came. Wasn't that a fantastic time, eh? Thanksgiving, mate, it was spectacular. Thanks to everybody who came. It was one of the best parties for many years. We had, how many people did we have at the house? 15, maybe 16? It's not that big a house. That's a lot round here. It was ridiculous. And, oh, boy, did we party and boogie down for a long time. We're boogied down till the wee small hours. So thanks to everybody who came. And that's what I'm thankful for this year. Hypohidrosis is a disorder in which a person exhibits diminished sweating in response to appropriate stimuli. So causes. Anticholinergic agents. What are those? Block the action of a neurotransmitter. Oh, acetylcholine. Okay, so not that. Just trying to think if any of these would be for Prince Andrew. Opioids. I don't think he's into those. Don't know. Botulism. Botulism, barbiturates, loads of... Okay, so medications, physical agents, tumours, burns, radiations, dermatological stuff, neuropathic. Doesn't look like he's claiming any of these. Ross syndrome. I tell you what, when you look at these like very edge niche case syndromes, like Guillain-Barré syndrome, it's always just terrifying, isn't it? It's just scary what's going on, what's possible out there. So it doesn't look like Prince Andrew, he's trying to claim that because he was shot at in the war, that adrenaline for anyone who hasn't seen the full thing, just watch it, overwhelmed his system. And then, so he wasn't able to sweat at the time. So therefore, governor can't do me for it, proves that, no, of course I wasn't. Of course it wasn't me, because I can't even sweat. And she said I was sweating all over her. Let's not be silly, right? I may glow or perspire, but I never sweat. Should we see? Is it possible? I can't sweat, do 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 do. I can't sweat, do 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 do. I can't sweat, do 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 do. I can't sweat. Guillain-Barré syndrome is a rapid onset muscle weakness. Caused by the immune system damaging the peripheral nervous system. Typically, both sides of the body are involved, and the initial symptoms are changes in sensation or pain, often in the back, along with muscle weakness. And Jesus Christ, I don't want that. The syndrome is named after the French neurologists Georges Julien and Jean-Alexandre Barré.
I'm Prince Andrew, and I don't sweat.
Okay, that's enough of that. Thank you, though. Yes, so, all of which is to say, I am now able to announce that the show starring Michael Sheen and Ruth Wilson, A Very Royal Scandal, is going to be released. An Amazon series, I believe it might be on the BBC. Production's underway. This has all been reported by Variety. And the series follows Emily Maitlis, a professional and personal journey as a Newslight journalist leading up to her acclaimed interview with Prince Andrew. Starring Michael Sheen as Prince Andrew, Ruth Wilson, Emily Maitlis, also starring Joanna Scanlon as Amanda Thirsk, Alex Jennings as Sir Edward Young, and Yana Hardwick as Stuart McLean. And is written by Jeremy Brock with Julian Jarrell directing. And also has a little part for Robbie Neumark Jones. I shall be involved. I have been involved. I am involved. Isn't that exciting? It's a fantastic script. And the cast, phenomenally talented, amazing to work with and meet these people. And this is my serious voice, where I really mean what I say. It was fantastic. Meeting all of them were just brilliant. They're just so... No one was a diva. Everyone was down to earth. Everyone was cool. It was a big production. The script's amazing. The directing was fantastic. It was an honour and a privilege. And I can't wait to see how it turns out. But that is where I have been. Thanks to all the messages for support that I never received. Thanks to everybody, especially for reaching out following the most recent episode, but one. Not the kebab story, of course. You know which episode I'm talking about. Although I think the kebab story was worthy of its own episode. And if you like that, then why not tune in to The Bliss of the Abyss on Riverside Radio every Wednesday from 9 to 10 p.m. GMT with me, and most of the time with Caitlin. Every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Riverside Radio. Riverside Radio, yeah! That kind of thing. So isn't that exciting news, everybody? What do you think, eh? What do you think? Isn't that nice? So what's been happening lately? Well, there's been that, obviously. And when it's released, or I can talk more about it. I will talk more about it. I'll maybe share an anecdote or two about what it was like. But I don't think I'm allowed to say anything more than that right now, because that's on Variety, so I am allowed to talk about it. It's been publicly announced. But apart from that, I shall keep the rest down under wraps until I am able to talk about it in more depth. At which point, you, of course, dear listener, will be the first to know. Anyway. What's next? What's next on the agenda? I'll tell you what's next, mate. Tom, if you're listening, get ready for some terrible Aussie accents. But, to be fair, Mr. Leo, you did say that my South African accent was good, didn't you? Because, Kathleen, you're now in a cult, yes? So, listen carefully. All right? I need you to focus. But we have too many people coming and going. This is not good for the company. I'm actually not doing a very good job right now. That's a real shame, because it's all on the mic. I was doing it much better when I was at the party. More impressed. But, hey, my lips are tired today. So, Caitlin, listen. You have to work every hour God sends you. She's joined a cult. Have you ever been with a loved one who's joined a cult? Actually, we watched this extraordinary documentary, Lighthouse. Look at Jay, Cult J. It's a great documentary. I believe it's on BBC. Inside the life coaching cult that takes over lives. Paul War. Yes, Paul War. This is what you have to watch, okay? Lighthouse. It's this guy, Paul War. He reaches this, and they've got their own YouTube where they're trying to counter the BBC one. This is good, isn't it? Actually, everything they said, lies. BBC, look at them. Jimmy Savile. I bet they say Jimmy Savile. They'll be like, Jimmy Savile, look, they love Jimmy Savile. Therefore, nothing they said about us could possibly be true, even though they presented endless evidence and receipts, as the kids say. Let's see if he's got anything to say. Paul War. Listen, Caitlin, I need you to work, okay? Lighthouse is the most important thing of all. Ooh, an ad. Here we go. Is Paul War an authoritarian leader from Lighthouse Global?
So what they do is they twist everything and they turn everything. Am I leader? Am I the leader? No. I am a leader at Lighthouse, now in charge of HR, was the CEO, came in to do HR, much like Bill Gates, stepped down and went into tech. Because he thought that was important.
Yeah.
Our technical work is with people. So I've pretty much done a Bill Gates. I've got to a point where
I've done a Bill Gates. Are there any comments? Comments are turned off. Oh man, but if I click the like button, the algorithm's gonna follow me. I can't do that. Should we see that? What's their top video? BBC Malicious Myths? Caitlin, listen. Yeah? I'm Bill Gates. The Awful Case of Aaron. Oh my God, I've got to watch these. These are way better than the BBC one. Guys, forget the BBC one. Malicious Myths. Lighthouse, a very British broadcasting cult. Yeah, BBC. Take that. Right, I'm going to go deep into this now. So, BBC Malicious Myths, a very British broadcasting cult. Lighthouse Global Media. They take it and they lie. And they hide the truth. Now, you could say, how come, if that's the case, then you turned comments off? I mean, if they're hiding the truth, why did you turn the comments off? Hey, tell me why. Yeah, so I would very much recommend it. A very British cult. I mean, everything is always called something like that, isn't it? You know, a very royal scandal, a very British. It's always very. It's a very. Where does that originate from? Very British origin. I mean, is it going to be something like, is it pre-Oscar Wilde? Where does a very British ... come from? Let's see if we can find out. Etymology, that's why you tune in. Etymology, every day, put it in the bin. I'm experimenting with something that gets rid of all cookie notifications for all time. And so far, still getting quite a lot of cookie notifications. It's not cut them down. That's that thing of that GDPR. They were like, everyone's being tracked all over the internet without their consent. Isn't it awful? Isn't that terrible? Look at their privacy. You know what? We've got to put an end to this. What are we going to do to put an end to it? We'll put pop-ups on every single website you ever visit, and you can't look at the website until you click accept all or reject all. How's that? Is that the best we can do? That is the system that we've come up with. By the way, if you click accept all or if you click reject all, you still just get to the website. I'm an idiot, okay? So don't think I'm clever, although I am. I'm a genius. But also, I used to think that if you clicked reject all, I wonder how many other people will admit to this. Hey, that's the difference. I'm just brave. I used to think that if you clicked reject all, then you wouldn't be able to go to the website. It would be like, oh, reject? Well, then you can't come in, you know? No shoes, no shirt, no service, mate. But no, just click reject all. And it just means no cookies. No cookies for you, Caitlin, yeah? Because you have to work. BBC Malicious Myths. Comments are on this one. I have ADHD and this has spiked my curiosity, which I really appreciate. I love hearing both sides of a situation. I don't think you have anything to worry about, as long as you haven't abused anyone. One reply, thank you. Appreciate your balanced perspective and willingness to discover the truth. Yeah. This is quite good. Why has the BBC turned on the Lighthouse family? Because when you've heard one Lighthouse family song, you've heard them all. Okay, that's very silly. So this is the anti. They do their own documentary to counter the BBC documentary. Lighthouse, global media, a very British. Let's find out where it came from next after we hear some amazing stuff from Lighthouse. It's going to blow your mind. Malicious myths. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me, Matthew.
What happens when you join a community to get the upbringing you never had, but the families and institutions you've trusted your whole life try to destroy your hopes and dreams?
Okay. This is bad voice acting.
I'm Mel Francis, and over the coming parts of our Malicious Myths series, I'm going to share with you the truth behind the malicious smear campaign against Lighthouse.
Thanks, Mel Francis. So, Lighthouse, a very British cult. In November 2021, investigative journalist Catrin Nye. It's an interesting name, Catrin. Must be Irish, right? Name Catrin. I mean, it's probably just a version of Catherine, Caitlin. They're all the same kind of thing, aren't they? Catrin and I got a call from Dawn. She said her boyfriend Jeff was trying to leave a cult, but this cult was also a life coaching company. Yeah, it's an amazing documentary. I don't think much about this counter documentary. It seems like it might be quite cheaply produced, presumably full of scandalous lies. But let's see. One of the best parts of the documentary, the BBC one, is this life coaching guy who's Northern Irish, I think, and he's like. They talk to him about hold on, so is all life coaching just a load of bollocks then, mate? And he's like, excuse me, no. That's not really, my accents are all off today. I'm not going to do it anymore. Apart from mine, hey?
House, through a full and fair disclosure of the facts. In a series of case studies, we will now reveal our evidence of the real and dark tales of individuals and families that are trying to lie and cover up their history of narcissistic abuse, child abuse, and even sexual abuse.
It's a crime.
Voice of Mrs. X, identity protected. It's a crime and it's incest. What?
It's incest, and I was extremely vulnerable.
We will also expose the way national media giants like the BBC and other institutions have colluded to cover up the abuse within families. All of this is backed up with material evidence from recordings, correspondence, and interview
let's see some of your
their character and competence alongside each other.
But feeding on their souls, literally, cannibalizing their own
alongside each other.
But we helped them out of families that were literally destroying and preying on them, feeding on their souls, literally, cannibalizing their own children with major control. We're talking about 30,
do you know what
still living at home.
Do you know what literally
controlled by mommy
means?
and daddy, viciously controlled.
It's not Lighthouse, it's not you guys, I never would be. It's my parents, I know it is.
I spoke to my mum last night and found out that she'd seen it online.
Okay, can I see some evidence against the BBC, please? Ooh.
Experts and the press to come and speak to us.
She's got some cult eyes.
All those offers have been turned down or ignored.
So wait.
I've been taking you up on these deals. They went, okay, no, I'd rather have a strike.
We will share with our brothers and sisters in Christ who genuinely seek the truth.
Oh yeah, they take a turn to the Christian thing. It was a thing that often happens. There's another great document. If we're talking about cults, there's another great documentary about Twin Flames. Twin Flames documentary it's on Netflix. What's it called? Oh, it's really interesting. Escaping Twin Flames. Yeah, there's another cult that then becomes really quite Christian. This is a super weird cult, but let's not get distracted by the by Mel Francis, associate at Lighthouse Global. Come on, Mel.
We have helped and supported people at Lighthouse and continue to do so. In this docuseries, you will learn the difference between a toxic family and a healthy family, a destructive cult and a healthy, supportive community. We've invited many experts and the press to come and speak to us, and all those offers have been turned down or ignored.
What does that tell you? Like, I could go out and invite all the press to come speak to me about my bollocks, and they'd ignore it, wouldn't they? Because you're full of crap. Anyway, not to prejudice you against this excellent documentary, because it's really good, but I haven't watched the counter doc. It's a counter doc. Where does a very British ... come from? Quite often, particularly in the media, I see British examples of things being referred to as a very British whatever it is. E.g., documentary about the British building their first nuclear bomb was called a very British bomb. But okay, it was British and it was made in Britain. I couldn't see what was very about it. It didn't spray tea and crumpets everywhere or anything. I don't see it applied to other nationalities. You wouldn't really see a very French or a very Irish ... Yeah, you would, actually. Very French. Oh, anyway, whatever. A quick Google search for a very British shows loads of examples, noticeably a book from 82 called A Very British Coup. Are they all spawning from that? Or is it just another example? Okay. Any responses? It is actually an expression used with other nationalities. Yeah, I thought it must be. I suggest you edit your question. Interesting question. A cursory search of Google Books turns up examples of the phrase as early as 1833. 5 answers. This person says the very British coup, but then that was for 88 as opposed to 1833. This is a Snowclone title format. I don't know. Does anyone know what Snowclone means? Hello? Anybody? Hello, I'm asking for a friend. Hello? A thing. It's a thing. For those who are not sure, this is a thing. It is a thing. Ngram. Of course it's a thing. We've all seen it. Ngram viewer. Hold on. Ngram's not found. A very French, a very American, a very British. What's Ngram viewer? Ngram viewer, Ngram son, Ngram viewer. Let's have another one. Not sure why this particular template has caught on. Possibly the order of words sounds in some way British. For comparison, the phrase, "A very good day to you, sir," sounds vaguely British to my American ear. I think I kind of agree with this analysis. That's not bad. It does just sound a bit more British, sort of like the All-American, the All-American team. Oh, they already came up with this idea. I noticed this kind of superlative for nationalities isn't unique to this phrase. A similar, more pervasive Snowclone is All-American X. Yeah, All-America, but like the All-British. No, an All-American, the All-American. Yeah, that's very, very popular. Snowclones, mate. Snowclones are good. What's a snowclone? A snowclone is a neologism for a type of cliche and phrasal template originally defined as a multi-use, customizable, instantly recognizable, time worm, quoted or misquoted phrase or sentence. Oh my God. There's just too many adjectivals. What does it mean? Okay, a typical example is the phrase, grey is the new black. A form of the template, X is the new Y, in which X and Y may be replaced with different words or phrases. For example, orange is the new black, comedy is the new rock and roll. The term snowclone can be applied to both the original phrase and to a new phrase. So it's a type of cliche or template which is multi-use, customizable, instantly recognizable, time-worn, quoted or misquoted phrase or sentence, used in an entirely open array of different variants. It's like very, very open and vague. But it's quite cool. I like it. X is the new Y. If Eskimos, I don't think I'm going to say that anymore, have N words for snow, X surely must have M words for Y. Yeah. Notable examples. Saddam Hussein's 1991 speech promising the mother of all wars, in reference to the Gulf War, gave rise to the snowclone, the mother of all X. Did he come up with that? Old Saddam? Old Big Moustache Hussein? Did he? The mother of all patents, the mother of all bombs. Oh, I've got another one. Although, so does it have to be a phrase or can it be a word? You know, Watergate? As soon as anything nowadays is Partygate is the most recent one, I think, in this country, about all the parties they were having while we were all locked down in Number 10. They had a bunch of parties. The booze suitcase full of booze, and there's Partygate named after. And I think Watergate is the first one because gate didn't mean scandal. Gate just was, it was the Watergate building where the scandal took place. Scandal? What scandal? There was no scandal. Everything was above board. Okay, so I just learned what a snowclone is. Nice one, snowclone. Nice one, son. Ngram Viewer. The Ngram Viewer is an online search engine that charts the frequencies of any set of search strings. Should we have a look at the Ngram Viewer? What should we look up? What do we think's popular? What do we think's... What's less popular now? What's got more popular? Okay, so 1800 to 2019. Should we do that? Yeah, that seems... Why 2019? Can we not do 2023, baby? No, 2019 is as far as we can go. Okay, what should we look for? Oh, we can look for multiple things as well. Let's look up the name Robert. Let's see how popular he is. How am I doing? Oh, I've been maintaining since the 1800s. With a slight peak around, ironically, my birth. Look at that, 85. It was good times back then. And since then, God, it's just slipped. Tell me about it. I know. Well, let's have a look compared to the name Tom. Huh? Tom, look at that. Constantly scraping the bottom of the barrel. Look at that, pathetic. What about Dave? Let's see how Dave's been doing. Dave's even less popular. God, this is awful. Case insensitive? Yeah, case insensitive, definitely. Robert All. Tom. Robert's still massively leading the pack. What about Nils? Friend of the show. These are all friends of the show, of course. Nils, whoa. I mean, basically non-existent, and then, a tiny uptick. But come on, let's be real. What about Caitlin? What about Indra Neelan? What about Chris? Chris must be leading the pack. Chris must be higher than all of them. No? Well, Robert wins. So, that's easy. Those are the only people I know. Indra Neelan. Nothing found. I tell you, it's Western colonial mindset gone mad. What about Katrin? Katrin Nye. Oh, I tell you what, Katrin. Basically nothing since the 1800s, little peak around 1900. And then from the years 2004 to 2017, she's gone from 0.00000025444% to 0.000026218%. I mean, wow. Okay, so names maybe not the best, actually, information to base this off of. What about the word Thanksgiving? Hey? That must be pretty popular. I mean, this is all so low. These are all like below the 0.000%. What do you think would be a really high term? Just like war. War, come on. 0.08%. What is this? What is this, by the way? What is that? Does that percent mean? What's the as in all books, that's how much that word shows up in. So what about love? Hey, 0.08? Love, 0.035. Yes. Now, what if I compare love and war together? And wart, whoops, typo. Love has been losing the battle against war quite significantly. And unsurprisingly, between the years 1914 and 19 and 34 and 56, yeah, war spiked, shall we say. And love was a bit of an all-time low. But look at this, 2016, love overtook war. What do you think? What would be the most common? I mean, can I look up the? Just the word the? The. Is that 6%? So wait, 94% of books did not have the word the? Or am I just being absolutely stupid? And, what about and? Can we get above 6%? No, less and than the. Okay, hold on. Most common word in the English language. Let's have a look. What do we think? Surely it's the. 300 most common words in English, according to wikiwand.com, which is my favourite Wikipedia skin. Okay, according to the Reading Teacher's Book of Lists, the first 25 words in the list make up about 1/3 of all printed material in English. Okay, let's have a look at the most common. The is number 1. Called it. Be, to, of, and, a, in, that, have. What's the first word that's kind of like a bit different or interesting in this list? Because they're all just kind of like time. Time's the first interesting word. It's all like we, they, say, her, she, there, would, woe, up. Woe? That's not woe. Up, after. Parts of speech. Okay, well, what have we learned, everybody, before I close this show? What have we learned, hey? What have we learned today? I forgot to say, I have been watching, last recommendation before I go, is, so we didn't find the answer to a very British then. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Use of the phrase "a very British" commences with use of that title, but if the first use is in 1833, right? So let's go to our Ngram user. Very British. Very British. I mean, it should really be actually a very British. But look, it was in use before that. So, I mean, can we find the examples? What if I just search 1800 to... I didn't know Google had this amazing sort of search. Ngram thing where you could just search all books on Google. I mean, it's only on Google Books, but they've got quite a few. Yeah, this from a very British government. Long neck. There's lots of like the Penny Cyclopedia. The Penny Cyclopedia of the Society. What is this world? The Society for the Diffusion of Useful Knowledge. I can read this free of charge. Who'd have thought? Published in 1838. Society for the Diffusion of Useful Knowledge. Their long and sharp bill. Some of these birds are of a gigantic size. Others are very small, but all have a very long neck. It's not a very British. It's scanned it in correctly across the page. That doesn't work then. So, you know what? Should I give up on this? No one has been able to answer it. No, we can't give up. Well, I mean, everyone else did. I think the problem is with the 1833 one. It's not actually... So, a very British coup, apparently, according to the Penny Cyclopedia... No, only joking. According to... So, don't forget, we learned about Snowclones. A very British coup. What is that? Let's finish with that. And I'll recommend everybody goes and watches Glitch on... oh, mate, it's on Netflix, but it might be elsewhere. I can't do the... oh, no, I'm getting into South African accents. I can't do any accents today. Kate, I love you. It's a great show on Netflix. From the people who, if you like comedy, and why wouldn't you? Why else would you be listening to this show? If you like comedy, then please listen. Watch, not listen. Listen to me. No, then watch... what's it called? Colin from Accounts. It's the funniest. Honestly, it's the funniest comedy I've seen for a long time. A Very British Coup is a 1982 novel by British Labour politician Chris Mullin. Yeah, okay. So I think what we're going to have to do is ask Mullin where he came up with the title. Right? I mean, yo, Mullin. Hey, Mullins. Do you think he'll be there? Do you think he'll be receptive if I reach out? I go, yo, Mullins. Mr. Mullins. Is that his name? Chris Mullin. British Labour politician Chris Mullin. I was before my time. What was he about? Was he good? Was he bad? Is that as simple as it is? Yeah, Colin from Accounts. This is the best comedy I've ever seen in my whole life, and I never use hyperbole ever. But thank you very much for listening to this show, everybody. As always, it's been a real pleasure to produce this content for you. Thanks for sticking with me during the pause in normal proceedings. Take care very much. I love you. See you next time. Goodbye. Thanks for listening to the show. If you've enjoyed it, please give us 5 stars and consider becoming a subscriber and maybe even supporting us on Patreon. Really helps me continue making this show. If you haven't enjoyed it, then you can fuck off. Many thanks to Nils Hennis-Steer for the amazing music and to Dave Fox for the cool artwork. Please keep coming back every week for more Bliss of the Abyss.
Message 1.